Satnam. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind. This is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live. And thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Welcome to our Capricorn, New Moon, Astrology, Gene Keys, and Human Design reading. I'm going to show you everything about this Capricorn New Moon, what is important and significant about it. We'll look at it through the lens of astrology, human design, and gene keys, and get a real clear, crisp image of what this moon is all about. So I'm excited to dive into that information. I do have a couple of things that I want to share with you guys before we dive into the reading. And it is my business school that is coming up next week. I want to share about it because I'm very excited. And this is something that I have been like dreaming about teaching for a really long time. So I learned by trial and error, basically, how to live aligned by design in my business. And I started doing things intuitively that I didn't realize were in alignment with who I was as a projector, as a mental projector, years ago. But if I had known exactly why I was intuitively leaning into doing things in the specific way that I was doing them, meaning like what my environment felt safe, like what I was actually doing, what was the content of what I was offering. And if I had known years ago, probably would have launched and been much more clear about where everything was going or needed to go in the direction of business in my own life. So now, right, years later, I have all this knowledge of human design, of gene keys, of astrology. I've figured out how to put everything together, that these systems live within each other, and that looking at all of them in conjunction is what actually brings the clarity that we're looking for. That if we're just using one system, it's not going to give you all the answers. And I love that because I'm very Gemini. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. I have Gemini Sun, Venus in Gemini, North Node in Gemini, Chiron in Gemini, 12th house in Gemini, Gemini rising. I could go on and on. I have other things in Gemini too. I think I even have Cheriklo in Gemini. So like the Chiron and Cheriklo, husband and wife, like in the same sign, if I remember correctly. But anyways, I'm very curious and I like to study systems and I want to know more. And by doing that, the nature of doing that, which is the way that I teach also, like everything that I offer brings that with it. Anyways, the point I am making here is that this business school that is launching next week on January 21st of 2026 is going to teach you how to basically build your business in alignment with who you are. So we have this concept in modern life that is all about business, is like there's a specific way that we talk about business. It's usually very dry. It's not very fun. And most people dread that part of it because we're trying to be in our creative flow, but we're not really allowed to, the way that business is like designed to like function. But when you dive into your gene keys and specifically the pearl sequence in the gene keys, you actually get a very clear path forward in business. And it's literally your design. And that's what we're going to teach you in class. And of course, we're bringing in the human design and we're bringing in the astrology because, again, like I just mentioned, they all live together in the same place and they give us different languages to describe the same thing, but help us to understand with a lot more clarity what it actually is. So there's also this thing about the gene keys that I get a lot because I do a lot of readings. People always wonder, like, what does it mean? Like, how should I read my gene keys? And a lot of people don't know that the deeper layers of the gene keys have to do with the lines. There are 6 lines possible, and whatever lines you have in your spheres play a big part of those deeper meaning layers, of that deeper understanding that you're wanting in terms of business. For example, there is a sphere in the Venus sequence that is called the core wound. It's actually the very last sphere that you arrive at in the journey of the gene keys before you hop into the pearl sequence. This core wound is the same gene key and the same line that you see in your vocation. So essentially your core wound, which is this aspect of you that you chose to heal in this lifetime, this archetype that you're living out, moving through every experience, every moment. It's this, wound that you're here to heal, like a Chiron wound. But as you heal this wound, you begin to really truly understand it. And it speaks to this sacrifice that we each chose to make in order to heal the collective. Because as you heal this wound within yourself, you heal it within the collective. And that becomes your vocation, because you've been working on it for a long time. You chose this as a core theme, a core archetype, a core deep dive into the human experience. Let's take my wound, for example. Mine is the 43rd. So the 43rd gene key goes from the shadow of deafness to the gift of insight and the city of epiphany. And it talks about the possibility of reaching and passing through breakthroughs in life. This is my core wound, deafness. But it's not just about being deaf to not listening to others. That's part of it. It's about being able to close everyone off so that I can focus on what really wants to come through. And for most of my life, I have felt so confused about what's me, what's not me, what thoughts come from me, whether what thoughts come from the outside environment. I've been so influenced as a projector, or we call it conditioned as a projector, to live life out of alignment, completely out of alignment. And so what's been happening for most of my life is that I became deaf to myself. And I was listening to everything and everyone else, when what I needed to do is find the clarity of when to shut the world off so that I can focus and channel the things that are coming through me. That's a way different way of looking at it. So also, I've had a lot of insight throughout my life. Being especially a mental projector, there's been a lot of insight that comes through. And this insight was generally not able to come through because I was completely out of my strategy as a projector. I was always initiating, trying to get things going, and it just wasn't the right way to go. And so being out of alignment for so many years, obviously it causes stress, it causes depression. This is what we deal with. On a daily basis, we deal with all these things because we're not living in alignment. We're trying to live life according to whatever guidelines we were given by whatever that comes from. And it's each of us have very different specific design and keys, literally, that will activate prosperity instead of the opposite in our lives. But most of the time it's it's not working, doesn't feel right, money's not coming in, or we don't trust the timing of things, and then we're out of alignment in business. So this is what becomes my vocation. So when I learned the right frequency and how to transmute the shadow of deafness, it becomes insight. And the insight and the epiphany, it's more than insight, it's epiphany they begin to channel through. And you guys know, watching my videos, when I'm in the zone, damn, it's it just flows and flows and flows, that I have zero constriction or restriction to the message that needs to come through. And a lot of times you'll also see me close my eyes because I have inner vision and I see better with my eyes closed. But anyways, when I have my eyes open, I'm like, oh, sometimes I get overwhelmed. Too many things to see. But what I want to, stress here is that this entire course, that's just a little tiny bit of what we're going to cover. How does this core wound become a vocation? What is the right environment for you to work in? Both using astrology, we're looking at the 6th house, we're looking at planets in the 6th house, we're looking at your actual human design environment and the modifier. So like I have caves, and mine is selective caves, or cave selective, which is this very specific tone to your environment. For me, it's like I need to be able to control who comes in and out of my space, my workspace, and then I can be more successful. And we're going to look at your culture sphere in the Gene Keys, because that's the one that talks about your environment, your natural environment, whether you work best by yourself or in partnerships, small groups or larger groups or bigger systems. We're also going to talk about business, relationships, and partnerships, because a lot of us want to start businesses with other people. And we're going to show you literally like how to do synastry in astrology, putting 2 charts together and what to look for that will point towards harmony or challenges in the relationship. I'm also going to teach you how to look at human design connection charts, which is something that most people have no idea how to do, or that it even exists. It's like the human design version of synastry. You put 2 human design charts together and it gives you this list of channels. Some of them are called electromagnetic channels. Some of them are called compromise channels. Some of them are called dominant channels. Some of them are like, these neutral channels, like complementary channels, where like both people have the same channel. So it's like they kind of vibe with each other. Well, I'm going to teach you how to read that in a chart so that you can pick the right people to work with and start businesses with. So that's pretty freaking amazing. I don't think anybody's doing that. And I'm also going to teach you how to go look at your Gene Keys and compare the Gene Keys and what to look for, like for how a relationship, how you will do in business together, and what are the specific things that each of you deals with and like gets triggered by when things show up. I mean, we're going deep down the rabbit hole. The workbook so far that I'm creating for this class is 123 pages, but it's going to be longer. It's crazy. We're going to dive really deep into your brand and your ideal customer and the right timing. And when I mean your brand, I mean like who are you? That is your brand. And what are you magnetizing? What are you bringing in? What do people feel called towards to you? There's a specific place where you find that in your chart. There's also, we're going to discover who is your ideal customer based off of your brand, your human design, everything. And then the timing, we're actually going to look at things in astrology like progressions, transits, Sun-Jupiter days, and different moments that are key moments to pay attention to, of like when to launch, when to put a product out. Like, this is going to be amazing. Okay. And then we're going to dive into like what truly activates prosperity for you and what constricts prosperity. So you might be like doing the exact thing that is like keeping money from coming. And the good thing is that we have a whole sphere dedicated to this in the Gene Keys, and teaching you about what that is will literally blow your mind. And then we're going to put it all together. And in the end, you're going to finish with like, you're going to have a marketing plan. You're going to have like the name of your business. There's like a whole place in the workbook that you come up with your business name based off of like the Gene Keys. It's really amazing. You're also going to have like a whole business plan and even like a product created that you're ready to like launch, a newsletter. I mean, we're going full on. And this is focusing on all of the creative aspect of business. So I'm telling you, this is what you've been waiting for. If you're ready to transition, check this information out. See if it resonates. What does your authority say about it? If you feel the pull, then answer that call. I am available for questions, Gobind at channelforgrace.com about this class. We start next week, January 21st of 2026. The cost is $1,444. There's payment plans available, and all the information can be found on the link in the description of this video. So check it out. And I can't freaking wait. All right. So thank you again for being here. Let me say hi to everyone that is here in the chat right now. We've got Shauna, welcome in. Good to see you. We've got Stick and Stones. Oh, I can see you so much better on my new phone. I love that. I just got a new phone too. It's very freaking exciting. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome in. Sounds great. Kate is here as well. Heal by Designs. Welcome in. Splenic projector with Gemini Sun. I love that. My husband is a splenic projector. Which part is the core wound, the line or the shadow? The core wound is the whole sphere, the jinky and the line. It's got a shadow, a gift, and a city. And the line is deeper layer of information about the core wound. And it's found in the Venus sequence. Trina, hello, welcome in. Do companies have charts? Yes, thanks, Mark. Okay, so that's another thing that we're going to teach. How to pull your natal chart for your business, which actually depends on when is the birth of your business. So like if you do like an official launch, and you very like strategically choose the day based off of all the things that we're going to show you, that will be the birth of your business. And yes, 100% businesses have natal charts. And then they also have like progressions, and then they also have transits affecting them. I mean, you could go down the rabbit hole, but 100% we will teach you how to pull a natal chart for your business. It just depends on like, when is your business? When was it birthed? When was the birth of your business? Sometimes it's an intuitive birth. Sometimes it's a very like strategic birth. For example, I'll give you an example because someone that I know that did a very strategic birthing of their business, which is what's really cool about it, is the Leo King, David Palmer. Like he literally sat there and looked through the astrology. He wanted his business to be a Leo, you know, and so he did all these things. Like, I can't remember the exact details. Like he wanted it to be like Leo rising or Leo sun with this type of moon. And so he like literally waited till those exact things were all present in the chart. And he was like, that's going to be the birth of my thing. And then that's when he filed the paperwork or whatever, like, or made the website or like, registered the business name, whatever. So, I mean, it's so fun. It is so fun to do this part of it. That takes away all like the stressful part of like starting a business. I mean, we're going to like set you up for actual success, not like possible success or like maybe. If you stay in alignment and if you're living in your design, then you will find success in your business if you do it through all of these systems. So great question. Thank you for saying that, because that's one of the funnest parts about it. Lucia says, sounds amazing. Sounds amazing, Grace. I love it. Okay. We got Sticks and Stones. She's interested. Well, you might want to do the Moon Goddess training. That is also going to be coming up soon in February 17th. We start with level 1. So those of you that have been waiting for that information, it's actually already up on the website, channelforgrace.com. Pull up, click on Moon Goddess training, and all the info is there for all of the year. But I'm going to start promoting that next week as soon as this class launches. All attention is going to the Moon Goddess training, which is my baby program. Includes everything all these things that are included in the Moon Goddess training, not the business type stuff, but your astrology, your human design, your gene keys, like the Atlantean path. We'll get into that later. Anyways, okay. So thank you for being here. I want to invite you to give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment if you're watching the replay. If you're in the live chat, say hi. I love the live chat interaction. But giving the video a thumbs up, which we always forget to do, that is what helps the algorithm push out to more people that will like my content. So please remember to do that. I'm going to try to remember to ask every time. Super easy to do. Just X out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, or if you're watching the replay, just hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you have not yet. We are having a good old time already with the beginning of 2026. So let's just dive into the astrological chart of the Capricorn new moon that is happening this Sunday, January 18th of 2026. So there's a few things that I want to talk about before we go into the specifics of the astrology, but I just put the chart on the screen, so let me know if you guys can see it. And those are like the basic, like what are the basic themes for this new moon in Capricorn? So first of all, it's happening at 28 degrees, 44 minutes of Capricorn, or 44, 43. It's activating the Altair, which is the Eagle Star, and the Pegasus stargates, which is the winged horse, almost like unicorn vibes. So Altair, Eagle, it's the flies the closest to the sun, the closest to God, essentially. That's what that means. It ascends us into higher perspective, higher knowing, higher knowledge. It takes us from point A to point B the quickest. It can be very challenging to have eagle medicine. I have eagle medicine. It's not easy. And I was warned in the beginning, if you want eagle medicine, you better be careful what you wish for, because the eagle doesn't fuck around. It'll take you where you want to go, but you got it. Like it doesn't have no mercy. Okay. The chakra of this new moon is the crown chakra. So it's about activating that divine part of ourselves. We're also connecting to the skeletal system of the body, the bones. And that is what sets like our foundation. Bones is very like, there's a groundedness to bones. There's like a literal like heaviness to a bone. And it's our structure. Like literally, like without bones, we wouldn't have shape, without muscles either. Without muscles, we wouldn't have movement of the shape, but the main shape of our foundation is our bones. So there's something about this moon that is helping us with our foundations, is how you would read that. And there's something about this moon that is helping us to connect to our higher self, our divine self, through the crown chakra. And then the gene key that this is happening on is the 60th gene key, and then the 60th human design gate. And it's on the third line, which also brings in the idea that things are changing and evolving, and things are like very experimental with this new moon. It's like the chaos of play is invited. That's another theme here. And that you might learn through trial and error. So it's a very active energy. The third line is like, there's a lot of activity going on. Like we're mixing things together. We're like little scientists in our like lab, working with different things, trying things out. So experimenting is a good energy that vibes with this moon. But let's now just focus on this chart and decipher what the planets are doing during this new moon. So we've got the sun and the moon at 28 degrees. They are together. Right next to them, we have Mercury and Mars, which are actually making a conjunction at 26 degrees. So they're not too far away. This is a literal conjunction. It's a stellium in Capricorn. So very strong Capricorn energy. And remember, everything I just shared about Capricorn. Capricorn is also about building something. It is, the Capricorn new moon that happens every January is like that's why we feel like, oh, let's launch something. Let's get something going that will eventually build to a legacy. That's the ultimate. Like Capricorn wants like, oh, it's all about the legacy. And you do that by working like tirelessly sometimes every day to get to a certain place. There's a goal. There's always a goal with Capricorn. So setting new goals is going to be really important. This would be a good moon to launch a business, for real. Speaking of the topic, or a product, or like a course or something. This is why we timed, the business course around this time, right after the new moon, so that the energy would be like grounded into the collective, and then we could move forward from there. So the seed is planted during the new moon, and then on the crescent moon, when our program is starting, it's like we're starting to work with that seed and watching it grow. We're watering the seed. The strong Capricorn energy, it's also 28 degrees, so it would be feelings, and it would be the moon and Saturn. There's moon and Saturn energy here. So moon is all about feeling, connecting to your emotions, aligning via the realm of the emotions. So like being clear about what you feel, what do you really feel about this, and then making a decision. So you have to get clear about what you feel before you make any decisions on this new moon. That's the first thing. Now the whole stellium, all 4 of these planets are making trines to Uranus. Uranus is the planet of revolution, change. It's what makes us different. It's what makes us unique. It is like changing the world from the inside out. It's currently retrograde, but when there's trines to Uranus, it's like something exciting, something usually positive and exciting brings change. And it's like if it was a square or an opposition, it might feel like too much of like a shock. But this brings in a little bit more ease. And it's like, hey, this is going to be a good thing. This is going to be a positive thing. You can align with that frequency. You also have, because Venus is within orb, also trining, Uranus. So you expect new things to show up, but also know that it's going to take like work to like manifest that thing that you want. But unexpected surprises, positive surprises can also show up. That's literally what that means. Then you have all of these planets in Capricorn with the new moon stellium making a sextile to Saturn and Neptune. So Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So when you look at the ruler of the moon, the new moon or the full moon, and what it's doing, it gives you more information. Saturn is in Pisces. So this is bringing in intuition, psychic awareness, the ability to see the unseen, hear the unheard, tap into the Akashic records, which is just the information. The information lives everywhere. We just have this idea, like, we think of like, oh, God is out there. It's not. The Akashic is out there. It's not. The Akashic is everything. Like you live in the information. You are part of the universe. The field is the Akashic record. It's a field of information that you're always you're always tapping into. Like people are like, oh, I could never read the Akashic records. Like it's too like, you have to be really intuitive to do that. No, you're reading information around you all the time. You just need to get good about deciphering the information as it comes in, understanding your language of understanding it, and understand the way that the field will communicate with you based off of what you know and understand. It's a very different way of looking at the Akashic records. And this is actually exactly what I teach in the Moon Goddess training. But we've got Saturn here, ruler of Capricorn, sextiling this stellium and this new moon, bringing in devotion, bringing in like the energy of like dedication. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. It's this time to dedicate ourselves, to devote ourselves to this new path, this new exciting thing that we're going to be launching, that we're going to be doing. And then tuning into our deep intuitive awareness is what Neptune brings, our insights, our psychic awareness. Hello, Maricela, welcome in. And then Saturn and Neptune are also making a sextile to Uranus. So all of these things are very, very beautiful and positive. What you could think of something being challenging is there is a square to Chiron. And the moon is also not exactly, but it is in the opposing sign where Jupiter is, and Jupiter is retrograde. I don't know that the opposition here is going to affect too much, because it's not exact. It's not very close. They're just happen to be in opposing signs, which is interesting. Which could present a bit of a challenge when you're trying to work with, like, if you're up against the odds, it can be challenging to find your way to the center, to find the balance in the middle between the duality, the dualistic points. But Chiron is essentially within orb, making square to the moon and square to Jupiter. And Chiron brings in healing. So he's like, you can do this. There's a new opportunity. There's a new possibility, but it comes at a cost. And the cost is that you got to let go. You can't, it's almost like there's a threshold. This moon, I just heard that word. It feels like a threshold, and you can't take certain things with you. And one of those is like your past, your conditioning, your old ideas. Like, this is fresh energy. Uranus brings in like fresh, like never been seen energy, never been experienced, never been felt, unpredictable. And in order to allow that, whatever holds you back from opening yourself up to that, you got to let it go. You got to heal it. And sometimes healing means like, just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we focus so much on like, oh, we're healing this and we're healing this and we're healing this. And so it's like, we're in this constant state of like healing, and we never actually move forward from that. At some point, it's almost like the same thing as like, you know, when you're grieving and and at first it's fucking gnarly and you feel it every time, like so strong. But then all of a sudden, one day it just clicks and you're okay. And you've like crossed this like threshold and you let go a little bit. That's what this is. That's what I feel Chiron is bringing. It's like, this is the point where like, stop holding on so tight and like, just let go. It's powerful. Really powerful. Okay. So let's now add in the human design version of this and take a look at what's going on here in the human design chart and where all the planets are, so that we can gain a better understanding or just the lens of human design to help us further like examine this. So I did mention that the sun and the moon are on the 60th gate, which is down here in the root. So this is dealing with the pressure and the stress of life, Capricorn style. Dealing with the pressure and the stress of life. This specific gate is called the gate of acceptance. It's also described as limitation. It is part of a crazy channel though. So does anyone have the third gate active in their chart? If you do, let us know in the chat or in the comments. If you have the third gate, that means that the channel of mutation is like turned on for you. But the gate of acceptance and limitation is people with the potential to bring lasting changes into the world. This is the pulsing pressure to mutate, to bring something totally new into the world. Uranus is totally helping with this, enhancing this. This energy pulses on and off sporadically, and the mutation happens in the gaps between. These people feel a great pressure within them to innovate something new, but cannot release it whenever they please. That's why the limitation. Hence, it is the gate of accepting limitation. The great challenge of this gate is to learn to wait for the right moment without knowing when it will come or even what it will bring. Wow. While these people are waiting for the next gear shift in life, they can become deeply melancholic. Ironically, it is at such times when they feel at their most limited. That the mutation within them is occurring. It's like the lights go out and you're like, I give up. And then boom, it happens. It's like, I know there's a movie scene that it's wanting to come through. There's lots of movie scenes where like it's like at the last moment. Yeah, I mean the Avatar movie. It's like when they're about to give up because in the first one, and then all the animals start fighting along with them. And then Neytiri is like, hey, what hurt you? It's like that. It's like that. It's like the right moment for it to happen needed to happen. It's ironically, it is at such times when they feel they're most limited, the mutation is occurring like the butterfly hidden within the chrysalis. Without the presence of the third gate, these people can feel very held back in life. If they are able to accept these feelings, they can transform them into creative endeavors and structures that will ultimately be of huge benefit when the next mutation in their life finally arrives. So this new moon is literally inviting us into mutation. Something is shifting. Something like deep down inside is getting ready to like totally change. Can you guys feel it? Like I can feel it's in the air. Like you can feel it already in the air. Personally, like individually, but collectively also. There's a pressure right now, and it's asking you to get ready. You don't know exactly when it's going to freaking show up, but it's there. And I think a lot of us are going through this, like, we're going deep into this, like, melancholic place already. So, I mean, those are all pointers that we're moving in the right direction. So this is all about mutation. Now, there's something really interesting in the chart, during this moon. Besides the fact that I will mention that the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all on this gate. So Venus is in Aquarius because this gate is both Capricorn and Aquarius, but that whole group is all together in this gate. So imagine the pressure that's building right now, collectively and then individually. I mean, that's huge, right? But there's something that's really interesting about the chart, and it's the 4037, the channel of community. So that's defined. And so that means that right now or during it's already defined right now. So we're already feeling this right now, but the freaking nodes, the north node is on the 37, the south node is on the 40. That's a channel. This is one of those channels that's created by an opposition in astrology. This channel is turned on because of the freaking nodes, which is our collective destiny right now and past. And the north node is on the solar plexus side of it, the feelings, the emotions, the emotional authority, because that means right now that we need to really trust our feelings, really trust our emotions, gain emotional clarity before you make any decisions. That's literally the message of the moon. And then on the other side is the south node is on the 40, which is the ego center. This is willpower, drive, motivation, like the ability to commit. So we have the ability to commit, but let's look a little deeper into this specific channel, okay? So North Node is on the gate of friendship, also called the family. So it's like we're being invited to the collective family. But this is more specifically people who need recognition through family or community. This is a tribal circuitry. It's an ego circuit. So these people actually hold the family or community together. So the North Node is asking us to hold our family together. Through their friendly nature, they ensure that harmony is maintained within our communities and families. They are natural nurturers. So the North Node is calling us to nurture each other. People with this gate always need their friendships to be built upon some sort of bargain. There are many types of bargains, but this can be as simple as one person working while the other looks after the children. Because these people constantly follow the emotional wave, they also have to constantly adjust the bargain between themselves and others. As long as this dynamic is upheld, they can be very loyal people. So this is about working together. This working together. Hello, Mama O. And Jeanette, welcome in. And Linda, hi. So that's where the North Node is. So where are we experiencing, like, what are we supposed to let go of? Well, right now it's the gate of aloneness. People who need balance to balance work and rest. One of the 3 gates of aloneness, this is the gate of denial. So these people are always sought after in life for their ability to work hard within a community, family, or business. Traditionally, this is the hexagram of the breadwinner. However, this gate is in the ego center, of which a major theme is rest. These people therefore have to let everyone know where their boundaries lie and how much they are willing to give of themselves, as well as what they can expect in return. They can be very firm in denying other people access to their willpower. Their time alone is extremely important to them. So what I'm getting from this is that right now, what we're being called to connect to people, but we're also being called to be very clear about our boundaries and how much we can actually give. If we have given too much in the past, we need to be careful not to do that now. If we haven't given enough, maybe it's time to step up and actually give and actually participate and actually like put in the effort. So it's a very powerful energy, especially because like we feel what's going on right now. We're going through these crazy transitions on the planet, and everyone is involved. Like everyone knows, you know what I mean? I mean, I know there's some people with their heads in the sand, which is fine, but everyone is pretty much aware of like the collective family and what's happening right now, in terms of just humanity in general. And it's crazy. It's like fucking crazy right now. We're also finishing the year of the wood snake and about getting closer to the year of the fire horse. And so that's going to happen in about a month. So this is the last new moon before the Chinese New Year. So it's like a beginning and an end at the same time. So right now the nodes are reminding us that our life purpose is to discover where we belong in the grand scheme of things and then to live that out. So instead of trying to figure out where you fit in, wait to see which people or communities invite you in. Whoa, that's huge. Okay, so that is the power of through the lens of human design. Like, don't you guys think that's so cool? I think it's so cool. So let's actually now talk a little bit about the 60th gene key, and I will read from the book, The Acidic Frequency of this gene key. But the 60th gene key goes from Shadow of Limitation, Gift of Realism, and City of Justice, and it's described as the cracking of the vessel. Like, okay. Could go on, say more. It's also the codon ring of Gaia. So this is the larger story that this new moon is inviting us into. The ring of Gaia holds the blueprints that all beings that share this planet Earth will eventually once again live in union. This genetic grouping allows or prevents awareness to move between different life forms and connect all beings on Earth along the same initiatory journey. Through the ring of Gaia, we can see how our ecosystem, the living, breathing diversity of the blue-green planet and all its life forms, is destined to discover its own inner truth as one entity. This codon ring shows that evolution is a force that is breaking out from inside us, Satnam, and that to unlock its secrets, we have to look inward. Boom. All life forms, whether sentient or inanimate, are designed to experience quantum unity and discover its destiny together as one entity. The ring of Gaia contains the wisdom that everything from the tiniest nanoparticle to the cosmos itself has the same shining jewel of inner truth at its core. Damn. That's badass. The ring of Gaia. Okay. Okay, so let us talk a little bit more about the city. And I love to read the city because the city brings us the information to the highest potential of the energy. So I like to lift our minds and our vibrational frequency to the highest potential possible, knowing that a lot of us are in the shadow. Some of us are in the gift. Most of us are working to transmute the shadow of limitation into the gift of realism. But let's dive into what is actually the city of justice. Okay, you're not gonna believe this. I want to change my screen. You're not gonna believe this. Okay. The 60th city of justice is described as the Earth ship Merkaba. The 60th city is an extremely rare city. There are some things in life that are quite simply a mystery, and this 60th city is one of them. It is called justice, but the true meaning of this word in a Siddhic context is utterly different from our usual interpretation of it. As we have seen already, the 60th gene key concerns the laws and limitations that govern the world of matter. At the gift level, there is an intellectual understanding that these laws are not quite what they seem, reflected in the modern scientific view of quantum physics, and that there appears to be a force operating outside the laws governing physical reality. This force may be called God, grace, magic, fate, or even chance. But the fact is that it lies beyond our human control. When a human being attains a Siddhic state, it is a rare event. Because we are all connected through the universal field of consciousness, this event has repercussions for all sentient life. It doesn't matter whether the person in this state ever sees another human being. Their realization creates a great swell within the ocean of human consciousness, and the waves from this high frequency surge affect all human beings. Depending on the flavor of the city, that is, its specific coding, the upsurge in consciousness affects our universe in different ways. Someone who attains the 25th city of universal love, for example, activates a huge opening in the collective heart field that surrounds and connects all beings and creatures on our planet and beyond. Such an event will lead to all kinds of breakthroughs in the human world of form. When a being attains self-realization through the 60th city, something quite extraordinary happens, and to the shadow consciousness, something very frightening. The fundamental laws that govern physical existence are loosened, and in some cases broken altogether. At a collective genetic level, this kind of event is called a frame shift mutation. When it occurs, the reading frame within the whole of human DNA shifts so that the way in which the genetic code is translated is totally different. At a macrocosmic level, this has not happened very often in human history, and for this reason, this 60th city still remains a mystery. True justice, realized at a divine level, is not a phenomenon human beings can easily understand. However, the coming of justice is lodged within the collective psyche, being reflected through the 60th gene key and its chemical counterpart within your DNA. Thus, almost all cultures have myths or religions promising a day in the future when the gods will descend to earth and pronounce their judgment on all living things. This myth, embodied, for example, in the Christian notion of Judgment Day, is a jaded human interpretation of the power of the 60th city. It is what we understand as divine justice. Because we humans think in terms of morality, our morality, we generally see justice in terms of punishment and reward. More often than not, we see it in terms of retribution. Even our most sophisticated spiritual and scientific systems think of life in terms of cause and effect or karma. This is due to the limitation of being caught in a dualistic reality. However, the true concept of justice is not bound by laws at all. It would best be described as acausal. When something is acausal, it means that it happens for no reason that we can see or understand. In an acausal reality, causes do not lead to effects, and thus there can be no justice as we understand the word. If someone were to kill someone in an acausal world, they would never be punished. There would be no such thing as duality. Therefore, no separate person would exist to commit such a crime. How then are we to imagine such a reality? The answer is that we cannot. The 60th city really does represent Judgment Day. It is the end of our illusions of right and wrong, good and bad, fair and unfair. The 60th city breaks all the laws of our reality, beginning with the law of time. Whereas we see time in a sequence, the 60th city experiences all time in the present. This means that there is no event horizon or sense of linearity, meaning that the person manifesting this city can therefore travel through time. This is crazy. The second law that the 60th city breaks is the law that holds form itself together, what we call gravity. In other words, these people are able to travel not only through time, but also through space. The laws of gravity that hold atoms together and maintain order within our cosmos are completely smashed by this city. Our popular mythologies contain many stories of eyewitness accounts of people flying or beings from other worlds coming to Earth. Some of these accounts may be taken from manifestations of the 60th city. Many of the great esoteric schools, among them the Tibetan, the Taoist, and the Egyptian, have detailed accounts of masters who attained the body of light or the rainbow body. These are examples where the laws that govern our world of form have been broken, and this manifests through a mutation of the physical vehicle of the body. In India, there is a mythic Himalayan yogi known as Babaji. Many myths surround this man, who is said to appear from time to time across the centuries, materializing in form, appearing, then disappearing. Other cultures have similar legends and stories that fire popular imagination, but are seen as superstition by the general consciousness. There is enormous magic hidden within this 60th city. It is true magic because it is acausal. It cannot be learned, mastered, or imitated. Every time a being attains enlightenment through the 60th city, magic comes pouring through this being and they become a phenomenon, a symbol of breaking the laws of form. At the collective level, the 60th city will be one of the first cities to dawn. This is why we have always interpreted it as Judgment Day. When the 60th city begins to ignite in multiple beings, it will be the ending of the world as we know it. Holy shit. Everything will indeed be revealed in its true sense. Whoa! The laws that hold together the earth will crack and our planet will begin to transmute. The 60th city has been known by certain esoteric schools as the Merkaba, or chariot of light. The true collective Merkaba is the earth herself, the spirit of Gaia. When the earth disappears, it will do so suddenly, and all the cells that have held the consciousness that we call Gaia will move to another reality. Only then will we really know what divine justice means. and it will have no meaning whatsoever on an individual level. We have absolutely no idea what this event will look like or feel like, but those with the 60th city hold the key to this ultimate magical occurrence. And we should remember that from the point of view of the 60th city, this has already occurred. Every human being knows this is our future, as it lies secretly encoded in the deep limitation of our material DNA. However, certain divine laws conceal those higher aspects of our own nature from our view. We have to finally evolve to be able to see them. And the two great laws that we must evolve beyond are gravity and time. These two laws are not absolute, but completely relative to awareness. The binary helix of our DNA is microcosmically composed out of these two laws. DNA holds memory, and it acts as the living, evolving, local structure for sentient life. Evolution demands time, and localization demands space. When awareness passes beyond these two laws, they are seen not as false, but as lower frequency signatures of higher divine laws. Beyond our human form, other realities and dimensions exist. The cosmos is teeming and abundant with interdimensional life forms. In more advanced forms of life, the mirror of DNA is no longer a binary structure, but a trinary helix. The triple helix unites all beings beyond space and time and frees awareness to travel unimpeded throughout the cosmos. However, the triple helix cannot support a carbon-based life form. It requires a far subtler structure or vehicle, the underlying geometry of the universe itself. Whoa. Dude, there's a lot there. I was getting all these like hits as I was reading that of all things that I've been watching and seeing and hearing people talk about. I mean, it's amazing how it's all manifesting like right in front of our eyes. I gotta pick my chin up off the floor. I know that was intense, but that's the energy that we're like feeling right now. The ring of Gaia. There's a lot going on. So I would say, as kind of like a closing, I want to read what I wrote about this in my Seasons and Stargates book for this current year. But if I was going to leave some like closing remarks on that, is the first thing that comes through is keep your eyes open, stay in consciousness, stay in awareness. Make sure your energy is clear. Make sure that you are cleared and cleansed, so that when like there's an initiation that's about to arrive, and you want to be on the right frequency to welcome it into your life, to know, to have the clarity. You want to have clarity. So emotional clarity, physical clarity, mental clarity. This would be a really good moon to do some kind of ritual, some kind of like meditation or practice that like cleanses you of like any gunk, like emotional, physical, mental. And then you sit down and like you're able to really focus on what you want to set as an intention. And I will leave you with this last message. We are reborn, and on the other side of this beautiful rebirth with Venus. Yes, because she just became the morning star. She is now in Aquarius, guiding us into the new world. The moon highlights the path forward by showing us how to navigate through the limitations. If we know how the universe works, we can work within the rules to create and manifest. A new intention is set, our mind and body ready to commit. Everything is aligned to help us take all the important steps. A great mutation is upon us. The power of Uranus is shaking up Mama Gaia, guiding us to discover our inner truth. The great mutation is born from inside of us and unveils as we step fully into our divinity. There is a purpose and a mission to fulfill, and it lives deep within your DNA. To uncover it, you must trust in divine timing. As we step into the new timeline, we begin to understand we have to follow our own path. It's the only way. You're not here to be influenced. You are here to express your uniqueness. The desire for a new way to relate to each other is here. It begins with you and then extends outwards to the world. Each of us living our true design launches us into a collective awakening and a realization that we are all one. Sat Nam. What a beautiful energy. What a powerful reading. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please share this video out, and please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that the algorithm continues to share this out to more amazing people that would love this content. I want to thank you guys for being a part of the channel, the community. Join our global community, our free private space on Mighty Networks. We have over 800 people in there now. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday. We're doing a special broadcast, Ashley and I, talking about each other's charts. And for continuing to promote the Aligned by Design Business School, we're going to show you some of the things that we're going to learn in the class, because we are working together, in this business space. So we wanted to show you how fun it can get. So come Friday, and then on Sunday for the new moon, I will be doing our new moon ceremony, Akashic reading, and I'll play some music for you guys. So Sat Nam, Waheguru, and I'll see you guys very soon.